Hello, welcome back to episode number 3. We ran 6 LLMs with $10,000 each to find out which one is the best trader. And so far, week 2 has just concluded, so we're going to go through all the results right now. So let's look at the results after week 2. Perplexity again in last place. It's got a week 2 change of around $298.10 of deficit money. Next, we have Claude at $295.58, which is down around 2.96%. Gemini next as well, $293.85 down, which is 2.72% down. DeepSeek in number 3 place, so $185.45. which is around a loss of around 1.85%, and ChatGPT around $24.70, and that's a loss of around 0.26%. And finally Grok, there's a bit of a change here, but this is a week 2 change of around $57.47, and that's a gain of around 0.57%. So not too good. I think the market did tank a bit on the Friday. We can do some more analysis on that right now. So the total portfolio value on Monday the 20th of October before the market opening is $59,409.23, which is a loss of around $1,000.40, and it's about a 1.72% loss. So just a closer inspection of the entire portfolio, see what happened. So at the beginning of the week, everything looked pretty good. Everything was going up in price. You can see that the trajectory of this chart on the 16th especially, which was on the Thursday, everything went up, everything was in green. However, on the 17th, everything took a slight downturn, so a little tank in the market, and then the trajectory of this chart actually goes down further, and then we get to the 18th and it sort of levels out on the 18th, which gives us around a 1.52% loss, as it's shown here. In terms of the actual AI's performance, you can see that some have realized gains and losses. However, if we look into the best performing AI, which is Grok at the moment, and we have a look at some of the picks that they've chosen. So Path, it was a good pick. It's actually got a total gain of unrealized profit at the moment. STNE as well, another good pick. And then we've got a small profit on XLU as well here. So these are unrealized gains at the moment. It'll be interesting to see what Grok actually does in terms of if it wants to rebalance, if it wants to hold. If we looked at the sectors, technology is predominantly the singular sort of major sort of sector that Grok has chosen at 53%, and then healthcare comes second at 35% as well. So technology and healthcare, however, it has diversified into other sort of areas like utilities and communication sort of sectors, but mainly almost a 75% in equities and not much in ETFs as well. But it is slightly diversified. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to I'm going to pre-prompt it to ask it if it wants to rebalance, hold, or buy or sell. So here's the rebalance prompt, pretty much exactly the same as the week before. The only difference being I've made a slight tweak to the maximum tickers that the AIs can actually choose. So the maximum is going to be 10, because the reason being is because 20 is a bit too much, and I think 10 is way diversified anyway, so should be okay, shouldn't make too much of a difference. So here we go then. We've got all the rebalance prompts for each of the AIs with their corresponding current holdings for each one and their overall performance for last week as well. So we can, so they can assess, understand perhaps do some research in current trends, and then hopefully they'll come up with a better strategy, and it'll be interesting to see what strategy they actually do. So let's go ahead, let's click on all the prompts to get them going. And here we go. Right, let's go through all of these, submit, and then finally on Claude as well. So looks like DeepSeek is definitely thinking about the stuff. ChatGPT, I think, is also thinking about stuff. Oh, right, okay. I think actually ChatGPT has actually already done it. So its decision was to rebalance. I'm not too sure what it's done. I think it's held some. So held on to SPY, held on to QQQ, reducing NVIDIA, holding on to AMD, Microsoft, adding XLK, and then adding a bit more cash buffer as well. Interesting remarks. Let's see what Perplexity is still working. Gemini is still working. Grok is done as well, actually, so very good. So its decision statement is to rebalance as well. So holding on to Path, holding on to XLU, selling some biotech stocks, and holding on to QQQ. Lots of holding, a little bit of buying as well. For Grok, we'll take a quick look into that next. As for Claude, which is performing, I believe, one of the worst ones that is performing. Selling a lot, actually. Holding on to Apple, buying Netflix. Interesting. I never saw that one coming. So buying some TXN, which is a semiconductor company. IBM as well. Interesting. Okay, so DeepSeek, Perplexity, and Google Gemini. Oh, Gemini's just done. SMH, so semiconductor increase, SPI hold, buying a new, I think that's a new equity, selling some as well, so doing a bit of work there. So DeepSeek, Perplexity still really thinking about stuff at the moment, being very slow. DeepSeek just, I guess, talking to itself, I guess. But its decision to rebalance is here. So sell, wow, selling NVIDIA, EVGO, TSM, Palantir, and then buying some new ones, and then holding on to $149 worth of cash. Interesting. Right. Okay. So we're gonna have a deeper look into all of these a bit later. I'll let Perplexity carry on, and we'll see what happens. So just a quick look at DeepSeek to see what it did. Basically, it sold all its stocks and equity, and then it proceeded to buy additional things. However, after giving it up-to-date prices, it actually just bought VZ, defensive telecom, Verizon basically, so telecommunications, PG, Procter & Gamble, consumer staples, XLRE, which is also a real estate ETF. So again, it's gone a bit diverse by selling everything and then just buying 3 equities this time. So this is DeepSeek. So with Grok doing the best at the moment, basically held on to everything, and then proceeded to buy XLRE, which is a real estate sector ETF. I believe just to diversify. So that's basically what Grok did. Still held on to all of its previous allocation and then just purchased XLRE. So this is Perplexity's strategy. In week 3, the portfolio shifts away from weaker financials and small cap values. So it sold AEG and RZV to concentrate more heavily on momentum growth, like in AI, Palantir, maintaining exposure to gold miners as well, which is gold, as you all know, is doing extremely well right now, and retaining a very small, modest cash position as well. Just, I believe it wants to diversify. So this is what basically what it's done. Basically held, sold, held, sold. I'm surprised Perplexity is doing so bad, even though it did buy gold mining and gold is shooting up. But we'll see how this goes for next week. So ChatGPT did a few things after giving it some of the real-time prices. It decided to hold most things and also purchase additional one thing, but mainly just hold on to everything. Similar to Grok as well, didn't really want to. It reduced one position in Nvidia and Palantir as well, and it added one equity, which is XLK, which is another tech ETF. So still diversifying. So it says maintains a tech heavy core, which is 70%, which is high. Also moderate defensive value exposure in VTV, in cash, and that's essentially it. And then the rest are in ETFs. So with Gemini, increased its semiconductor sector, sold its position in XBI, sold its position in CIBR as well, bought TQQQ, and sold XLE as well. Basically, it did a very simple thing. This week's rebalancing has moved aggressively, capitalized on the market's renewed risk appetite. The strong rebound in semiconductors confirmed that last week's dip was temporary, prompting me to consolidate the portfolio into higher conviction, higher beta access. I'm selling the underperforming cybersecurity position, and now unnecessary hedge. This proceeds will increase into semiconductor sort of like holdings. Interesting. So yeah, it's going towards more tech heavy, similar to the other AIs as well, like what we previously saw. They're sort of like diverging into like bit more risky now, because I think we're into week 3. It's probably thinking, okay, we better make a risk. Even though we're losing, we better make a big risk, see if it works out. So yeah, so after rebalance, or after giving it the correct prices, it sort of rebalanced itself. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to tally everything up and we'll carry on. It basically sold everything and then held on to one Apple stock, so 5 shares of Apple stock, and then proceeded to buy Netflix, Texas Instrument, and IBM. So it says my defensive positioning failed as markets rallied on de-escalating tariff tensions and strong bank earnings, leaving me dead last. I'm executing an aggressive offensive pivot, liquidating all defensive holdings and rotating 86% into high beta tech stocks, which is very aggressive for Claude. I believe it's trailing behind and now it's feeling the pressure. Not that AI feels any pressure, but probably doesn't want to be last. But yeah, so aggressively turning to tech, and we'll see how this ends next week. So all the AI portfolios have been updated. As you can see, markets just opened as well, so everything's looking nice and green. We'll see how this is near the end of the week. I'll probably come back with an update midweek as well, just to give an update to see how things are going. And I think that's everything from me. But on that note, have a great week. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.